Hello and welcome to another update video about Natgas. Natgas continues to play out the current trend. There hasn't been so far any confirmation for a low in place. The trend line to the downside that we have discussed in the last video still showed no break. So from that point of view, we are still focusing on lower prices. Basically throughout 2023. We have been waiting for those lower prices and they have eventually happened. This wave 4 was extremely long and boring. Yeah, basically here into August, October actually, this high was actually a lower high, but they have been extremely boring. Essentially our primary scenario since beginning of 2023 has been for one more low. And I think we are there now and we're getting close to a substantial low. The market is very much overextended to the downside. Yeah, you see the RSI on the daily time frame really low. Not yet at record low or anything, right? But really low. So I think we're getting close to a very substantial low, and the next reversal could be a substantial one. That's basically the same message that I've given you in the last video. There are different ways how the microstructure can be counted here. I would still leave the door open for lower until really a significant resistance level breaks. The earliest indication in this wave 5 to the downside that a trend is changing would be a break above the trend line. Now don't make the mistake to look at these fib levels and say, okay, we have to get there and turn around. In the last video, I showed you a few fib levels basically as next targets to the downside to watch for reactions. And then the question was, what happens now? There was no reaction. There doesn't need to be a reaction. Essentially, we are following the trend to the downside. We know that third waves can always extend. We know that as long as we don't break above at least an initial resistance level, the trend remains focused on the downside. At the moment, the next targets to watch will be $2.12 and $1.88. Yeah, these are the next levels to watch potentially for this third wave. Can I rule out that the entire move down is going to be finished? No, but I would need to see some evidence. This still looks somewhat incomplete. At least I'd like to see another 4-5 pattern to complete the move to the downside. That gives us a resistance level to watch. So the resistance I would like to use that needs to break to confirm that a more lasting low is actually in place. That is the 50% retracement at $3.11. I want to see that level break to confirm that, we are moving to the upside, that a more substantial low is in place, because anything until then can simply be a wave 4 corrective rally and essentially one more low afterwards. But what are we talking about? I mean, I'd say the highest probability path of the move down is now done. But you see how strongly and how extensively Natgas can really also extend to the downside. I remember on this move down at the time, which we were observing as well and analyzing, a lot of people got too bullish too early, okay? But I also had at the same time, I think, a trend line, and I gave you an indication at the time, don't get too bullish until the trend line broke. And I think it broke, okay, then made another low, but it took ages, right? But essentially, we were still watching for another low all the time. But what I want to highlight is that these trends, they can extend quite a bit on the Natgas chart. So just have some patience, wait for the price to give us an initial signal. We need some kind of a signal, an indication that things might be changing. So essentially we need to see at the very least minimally a break above the trend line that I've got there on the chart, and then for confirming a more substantial top. So I think, if the trend line breaks, it would for me be the signal that the wave 4 there in yellow is unfolding, basically a corrective rally. But if the $3.11 or $3.12 level breaks to the upside, that would indicate that a substantial low has likely formed. I will keep you updated. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. If you're interested in daily updates about the S&P 500 as well as regular updates about stocks, check out our stocks and S&P 500 service. You can find the link in the video description. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.